I have to be honest. He played tremendous. And it was all about them being smart, sticking to the game plan, and them being there before. Against Jacksonville getting tight, and I feel like they felt the pressure on their necks, and they just choke up. They choked up. But there's other plays I'm going to throw out there later on in the segment. We have some more topics that I want to bring up about that game. What do you think about it?
I'm going to say that to say this. Well, you said that to say this. I'm going to say this. Mm-hmm. You can't beat the Patriots on field goals. You can't. You have to score touchdowns against the Patriots. That's the only way you're going to beat the Patriots. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a defense designed to stop him. I don't think there's a defense designed to stop him. You got to score, and I think that's how the Giants was able to beat the Pats in the Super Bowl.
Listen.
They didn't they scored touchdowns. You have to score touchdowns. You can't get one touchdown and a whole bunch of field goals. It's not going to work. It's not going to work against a team who's been there every year. Field goals don't be like, you know what, all right. They look at field goals as, all right, they had to score, so don't give them 7. You score one more touchdown, you win. You're going to the Super Bowl. You Jalen Ramsey, your team is going to the Super Bowl. You got to score against the Patriots. You have to score. That's all there is to it. Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does. There's nothing that happened that we haven't seen before from Tom Brady, from Bill Belichick, or the New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. 4th down, they got to get the stop. Stephon Gilmore gets the stop. Let's go home. We're going back to the Super Bowl. So that's all I got to say about that. At the end of the day, there's nothing else. You have to score against the Pats. You have to score touchdowns against the Patriots. There's no other way to beat the Patriots. You can't beat them on all field goals. It won't. I haven't seen a team that did it in the playoffs, that beat them in the playoffs, that scored mainly field goals.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Like and just to piggyback off of what you said, their motto, the Pats' motto, they play soft for 80 yards. When it gets into them 10 yards, field goal, basically field goal range, but the red zone, period, they get tight because they want you to kick a field goal. They're not giving up a touchdown because they know their offense is going to score. They know that. So if they're in striking distance, 6 points, 3 points, they know with the ball in Tom Brady's hand at the end, it's game over. And that's basically what it was. Jacksonville played great all season.
Great season. Great season. And they didn't allow Leonard Fournette to dominate. The games that Leonard Fournette dominates, they win. When he gets over 100 yards, he gets to that 125, 150 range, they win. They only held him to 76 yards. So I think that was another thing. That was another little thing against them.
Absolutely. So, now, with the Patriots going back to the Super Bowl, this is 3 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years, right? There's a lot of people that don't like the Patriots. Why do you think they're so hated?
Because they win. They win. Whenever there's a player who continuously gets to the championship every year or has a stretch of dominance, no matter how it is, no matter how they go about it, you start to get tired of people winning. Because the thing about sports is, sports has no script. There's no way that this movie ends. Sports is where the underdog comes into play. Mm-hmm. So when you get tired of, when you see people winning year after year after year after year, or they have a stretch where they're just completely dominant, you tend to hate them because you want somebody else you want something else. You want something different. And they've dominated since what is this, 10 years, 12 years? They've dominated.
Yeah.
Where
10 Super Bowl appearances.
They've dominated.
8 in the Brady era.
They've dominated. You've completely dominated.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what it is. And you could go and look at any sport. Michael Jordan, Kobe and Shaq, or Kobe by yourself. There's been LeBron. There's been stretches when you have dominance, people hate you. The Yankees, pick a team in the sport. People are going to hate you just because you're good or you win.
I hear what you're saying with that, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a different, or it's a more of a higher level of hate for the Patriots than, greatness. When you think of greatness, you think people to adore people that win. There was haters that just wasn't Lakers fans that didn't like Shaq and Kobe. Mm-hmm. Understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But They love the excellence because they like winning. But when it comes to the Pats, excuse me, when it comes to the Pats, I just feel it's high. It's a higher level of hate. But me personally, I'll give my reason. I'll give my reason simply because, of course, I'm a New Yorker. I don't like nothing about Boston. That's just how I was raised. But on top of that, I'm gonna throw out some things to you. Why people hate the Patriots?
You're gonna throw out the Spygate. You're gonna throw out the Deflategate.
Deflategate. Spygate.
You're gonna throw out those two.
The Tuck rule. Listen, these are all the scenarios of why people hate the Patriots. They feel they're cheaters. From knowledge, it seems like they are cheaters. Tom Brady didn't know the ball was deflated. Every quarterback says they know when a ball is deflated. He had no knowledge of it. Cool. Stealing plays. Cool. Like, okay. Suspend Tom Brady. But how I had to take a step back and realize this. With all that controversy, the year they got hit with Spygate, they went to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady has to sit out 4 games. They win the Super Bowl. Gronk gets hurt. Like, through all the adversity, Tom Brady finds a way to win. All the time. I have to give my hats off to him as much as it hates me to do it. But there's reasons why they hate. And it goes on top of people starting to think like refs are cheating for them. People want them to win. That's why we hate it. Now, let's go back to yesterday's game, Sunday's game, with the fumble that was ruled down. You watched the play. Everybody watched the play. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that he was down. No, they said he was down by contact, but he was not down by contact. I apologize for that. He was stripped, and they were going down the field to score. That right there would have took it to 27-10. That game was over. That game would have been over. That game would have been over. But no, we can't have the Patriots lose. That's horrible. That's like things like that. This is why people hate the Patriots, because we feel when we see things like this, we don't see it happening for our team or anybody else like that. It just feels like it happens a lot for the Patriots. So on that end of the spectrum, that's why I understand the hate for him. But then this man just keeps on winning and keeps on winning, and he's shutting me up. I said after he wins, if he wins, if I said if he wins, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Tom Brady again. He's the GOAT, and I was gonna give him that. So he won. I'm just giving you the other end of the spectrum, but yeah, man, it's hard to like them, but you gotta respect them.
As a team, you can only control what you can control. If you have the whoever the organization, the league on your side, then you just got the league on your side, and it is what it is. And then you're never gonna come out and say, "Oh, we cheated." You're never gonna do that. You're just not gonna do that.
No, you're not gonna say it. Of course, you're not gonna say it.
All right, then. So I mean, like I said, like for that, it's just null and void. So we could talk about them cheating all they want, but at the end of the day, we got to be able to. We got to figure out why these other teams can't beat them.
Because they got everybody on their side. Let's get to it. Let's get to Chris's Coaching Corner.
It is now time for Chris's Coaching Corner. Chris's Coaching Corner this week. First, I'm going to strike not a coach, but an organization. The Milwaukee Bucks completely handled the firing of Jason Kidd super unprofessionally. A future Hall of Fame as a basketball player. He's had some good years with Milwaukee. He had some good years with Brooklyn. They're 7th in the East right now. I think he is one of the reasons for Giannis Antetokounmpo's success, because he allows him to play on the perimeter and handle the ball and have some type of point guard freedom. And you fire the man. And the way you fire him is Giannis calls him 15 minutes before he has to hear on publicly that he's being fired. So Milwaukee Bucks, man, Jason Kidd, I hope you get something. You know who? If I'm what organization I'm going after? If I'm an organization, I'm Phoenix Suns. I'm going after Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd played there, had some good years there. Absolutely. I got a young group of guys. I'll give him a long leash to let's figure this out. You got a young Devin Booker, you got Josh Jackson, you got some young pieces. We could get this done together. So if I'm Phoenix,
Booker out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I would go get if I'm Phoenix, I would go get Jason Kidd. And a quick shout out to Jay Wright. Jay Wright of Villanova, they're 19-1 right now, and to watch them play is a thing of beauty. To watch them play is a pure thing of beauty. They defend. All 5 guys are locked in, and they're probably the most unselfish team, if not the most unselfish team in college basketball at 19-1. People want to get everybody's excited over Duke and Kentucky. Well, not even Kentucky, but Duke and all these other guys right now. But Villanova right now is they're looking like they you could pencil them in for a Final Four right now. All those guys are playing well. Absolutely. So that's Chris's Coach Corner for the week. Coming up, LeBron James, youngest player to reach 30K. And we got the 1990 fantasy draft. I know everybody liked that. You were tuned in to Topics on IBNX Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get it. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Okay, we're back. You're listening to Topics on IBNX Radio. So, the Rockets. It was a Saturday showdown this past Saturday. The Rockets defeat the Warriors 116-108. And Clint Capella, if anybody does not know who Clint Capella is, he's the center for the Houston Rockets. At the end of that game, very good game, very, very good game, he stated, "We are the better team." And I quote, "We are the better team," end quote. The Rockets have won the season series 2-1. Do you think there's truth to anything he just said?
That they're the better team?
Yes.
I don't know if they're the better team yet. They're the hottest team right now. And those 2 guys outside, Chris Paul, those 3 guys, Chris Paul, Eric Gordon, and James Harden are playing absolutely lights out. And Trevor Ariza, Ryan Anderson, Clint Capella, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Because for somebody with such a minimal role, well, all you got to do is block shots and rebound, and they're literally on offense. They're spoon-feeding you the ball on offense. You're either catching a lob, but they're literally dropping it to you, and you're dunking it. You don't really have – you can talk whatever you want, but excuse me, the Warriors, the team that you're so-called better than, has been to the NBA Finals the past 3 years and won 2 out of the past 3 years. Mm-hmm. You guys, quiet as kept, is kind of underachieved. So be careful. Just be careful. Don't wake the beast just yet. Don't wake the beast just yet. No, they're not the better team right now. They are playing like the better team, but in a 7-game series, I'm still taking Golden State. I feel like Golden State still is at the top of the hill, and people are still chasing Golden State at the end of the day. Because I don't find it ironic that every year they have 3-4 All-Stars on their team every year. Those guys, they bind in a row. So Clint Capella, just be careful. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep balling the way you're supposed to be balling, and just let your game and let your win speak for itself. Because that's going to come back and haunt you if y'all face each other in the playoffs, which most likely will happen, and you lose. So I like Houston right now. Mm-hmm. So happy that Chris Paul has kind of got, like, he's looking like a young Chris Paul. He's looking like he shed 4 or 5 years, and he's back to it. Everybody's been saying,
drink some of that water, baby.
Yeah, I need some. I'm fighting the cold. Forgive me. Everybody been saying Steph has been getting the best of Chris the last couple years, and he has. So it's feel good to finally let Chris Paul, like, hey, he been killing Steph this year. That's all I'm going to say. He been getting the best of Steph this year.
All right, okay. Now you're getting, all right. Okay.
He had 33 and 11 or something like that?
Good game.
Okay.
All right. Listen. And the famous quote of a dear cousin of mine, stop paying homage and pay attention. Listen. Clint Capella. Clint Capella. I'm really sitting here trying to. Who are you? You having a better season. I'm gonna throw it out there. You've been better these last few years. Like, you're getting better. I like you. You rebound, you block shots, you defend. You get spoon fed. I get it. You're hype. Your team is looking very, very good. Very good. You're excited. But you need to shut up. Like, seriously, you need to shut up. Because at the end of the day, I think it would be more respected if it came maybe from a Chris Paul, point blank James Harden, but he's not going to say that. Chris Paul, sometimes I feel like he wants to say certain things, and he's trying to get the demeanor, but I don't know how much you can do when you're the leader of the NBA Players Association?
Yeah, leader of Players Association.
He's the leader of Players Association, and he's going in locker rooms. But listen, anyway.
That wasn't true, by the way.
But
stop talking about my boy like
that.
It
wasn't true?
Nah, he didn't get suspended for it.
I wonder why. Come on, man. Like, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Like,
control what you can control, player.
No, I don't feel like they're the better team at all. Not right now. It's still an uphill battle. Golden State, I feel they're not cruising, but they know what to do when it's time. They've lost season series before and beat the same team in the playoffs. So they're not worried about that. I feel I'm going to tell you this, though. I respect the fact that someone said something, because we come from an era where we talk. Let's be serious. Like, at the end of the day, though, you let your game talk for you. But if you're going to talk, you talk it up. So I don't mind somebody talking, you know what I mean, and get that competitive spirit. Next time they play, hopefully it's the playoffs, they're going to bring back this quote, and it's going to be a fun game. So I like it, but I just don't like from who it came from.
Fair enough. That's perfect. That's fair.
Who it came from, Clint Capella.
So only person I could have said something was either Chris Paul or James Harden on that Rockets.
I would say Harden.
Not even Chris Paul. And I'm not disagreeing if Chris Paul would have said something, I kind of wouldn't have just been like, come on, Chris.
I would, because I've seen, I would like it if Harden said it. I respect it.
Right.
CP3, he can, but I think he plays with a chip when he plays against Steph. He been dropped before against Steph.
Steph been murdering him the last 3-4 years. Steph
been
murdering him.
Nothing.
Steph been murdering him.
Nothing with the.
Steph been murdering my boy the last 3-4 years. So I get it. So like I said, this is good to see.
Listen.
But anyway, man.
Moving on.
The Thunder.
The Thunder
beat the brakes off the struggling Cavaliers. The brakes off the struggling Cavaliers. 148 to 124. I'm not even gonna put the stats out there. What I gotta say, Russ had 22 and 20 or something like that.
Yeah, he got
so Russ was playing. So Russ, he's already think he's in the All-Star game because that's the way he was playing. Obviously,
he was going crazy. Take nothing away from him. And I'm not gonna talk nothing bad about OKC because the topic right now is the Cavs. But if you want me to talk about OKC, I can. But that's not the point.
Let's talk about what did you take from the game?
Look, I look at it like this.
Let's talk about the Cavs. Period. Let's talk about the Cavs. Period. And we're gonna end this on a good note. But let's talk about the Cavs. Period.
Let's talk about
the Cavs. Period. You know, Kevin Love going out early in the game took some heat for that when they had their team meeting on Monday. Obviously, the team meeting didn't really work that much because you go into San Antonio and you blow the game in San Antonio, right? So I think I have one more. I have one more suggestion for the Cavs, and I think that I'm done. Like this, I'm out of options. This is my last option, right? People don't get mad at me out here. This is what I'm about to say. People are gonna be upset at. You know who the Cavs need to go get?
Who?
Cardi B.
Wait.
Who had a better year than Cardi B? At this point in life, who has had a better year than Cardi B? Last year we was watching Cardi B strip on Love and Hip Hop. Now she's about to perform in the Grammy. Shout out to Cardi B.
Shout out to Cardi B.
She either got
Cardi B.
She gotta go get some season tickets. She gotta go courtside. The Cavs need some Cardi B energy right now.
So let me ask you something. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your concern level with the Cavs?
I'm concerned. I'm highly concerned,
Can I
bro.
get a 1 to 10 from 1 to 10?
I'm like an 8.5, 9. I'm like a 8.5, 9. Cause I don't like my whole thing is like even if you, and I'm joking about the Cardi B thing, of course, but like I really don't know like who do you go get? Like I don't think I don't see DeAndre Jordan making that big of a difference.
That impact.
The only thing that you could say that helped the Cavs is the Cavs have never been. This week was their first week. Saturday was their first game where everybody who they got was healthy and dressed, and you can't even say that because Kevin Love was still out. So, like, that's the only thing you can say, and it's like, right now, I think I don't even think it's like defense. I don't even think that. I think it's teams are playing harder than the Cavs. That's all it is. Teams are playing harder than the Cavs. That's all it is.
Listen, at the end of the game, LeBron stated, we could get bounced first round if the playoffs started next weekend. Right. I said this 2 weeks ago. The Cavs, I'm going to put it out there. They suck right now. Let's be honest. Let's put it out there. The Cavs suck right now. They're 2 losses out of the 8th spot. Did anybody register that? I want everybody to just think of what I just said. The Cavs are 2 losses out of the 8th spot. This is turmoil. Now it's going to they're getting so petty in the locker room that they're saying they don't know if Kevin Love was really that sick leaving the game. And you worried about Kevin Love being sick? Your team is horrible right now. And LeBron is the head of the snake. So, listen, I'm going to come to LeBron. What's going on? Any other time, all the LeBron fans and the lovers of LeBron, he builds every team. You know, he can get it right. Honestly, the best thing they could do is blow the team up. That team if there's no turnaround by All-Star break, they got to blow the team up. They have to blow the team up. Now they talk about all these reports. There's reports coming out of that locker room every day. Then they had another a team meeting after the San Antonio loss. Mind you, they lost to a depleted San Antonio team. They're not good at all. They're not good. They're really bad, actually. It's just moving quickly, and I don't get it. Everybody's saying, if they've been, this is January. It's January. They always struggle a little bit in January in LeBron's career, but it's more than that. If you look at this team,
the way they're losing.
Exactly.
That's the way they're losing.
They're getting smacked.
They're losing bad. They're losing bad.
They gave up 148 points. 148 points
in 4 quarters in 48 minutes. That's unheard of. That's bad.
148 points.
Now, despite that,
come on.
Despite all of that, right? LeBron James, last night, youngest player in NBA history, scored 30,000 points. So shout out to LeBron James, right?
Give him a round of applause.
You got to.
I'm gonna
You
give
got
LeBron
to.
a round
You
of
have
applause.
to. You have to. Now, only player in NBA history, 30,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, 7,000 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he? Where is he in all-time greats? Where is he?
Where is he ranked? In all-time greats. So, okay.
Excuse me, everybody. I got a cold, by the way. I'm fighting a cold. Being around Tone this weekend. Got sick.
All-time greats. I will put him. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'll put him top 10. I still don't. He might be tied or getting close to Larry Bird for all-time greatest power forward. I mean, small forward.
I think he's better than. I think he's the greatest small forward of all time. I think he's the greatest small forward of all time.
But I'm gonna touch
came back from
everybody's gonna get mad at me, but all right. But we have a call coming in. We have a call coming in. We're gonna take this call. It's not clear yet. All right. Well, while they fix that, LeBron is. All right. I give him homage. I pay him homage. He's top. He might be top 5 now.
Okay, but
He might be
is
top
he?
5.
So you think he's not the best small forward ever?
He is now.
I think after coming down from 3-1, I think that trumped Larry Bird.
It was for a long time. I put Larry Bird over him.
I think you had to still. I think you had to still.
But with that 3-1, come on, there was a lot of factors that played into that.
But you did it. Like I said before, like the whole theme of the show was like the whole factor with. There's been a lot of factors with these Patriots. There's been a lot of factors with these Patriots, and yet they still handle their business. At the end of the day, you still got to win with the factors.
You actually do. No, you actually have.
You got to score. You got to win. You got to win. I think this year's hurting his legacy.
This year's hurting his legacy.
I think this year's hurting his legacy.
You know he's gonna leave. Can you really? Let me ask you something. He's at a point now. Do you feel like he's chasing championships? And if he is that cool?
I think he is in a sense for his own personal this is his own personal ego. Like he said before, I'm chasing a ghost. So I would say he's chasing championships. But the problem is with everybody else in this whole field of media that the first time, whenever you compare somebody, the first thing you drop is rings. You know, that's what separates you. Rings. Mm-hmm. You know, so at the end of the day,
Jordan has 6, Bill has 11, but they still say Jordan is the GOAT. So, but what I'm saying, you feel like, because I feel like he's gonna leave.
I don't think he's gonna leave. 'Cause where do you go?
He go anywhere he wants.
I think if he leaves, I think it'd be worse than.
I think that will hurt his legacy.
I think it hurt his legacy because you left the second time. You left, you got your championships, you wrote this whole letter to the city, apologizing, and this is the ode to Akron, and I'm back, and I had to go home, or I had to leave and mature and learn how to win, or however you wanted to slice it.
We got it up. Okay.
So,
all right. So we're gonna take this call. We're gonna take this call.
Hello.
Caller. You listening to Topics? Tone Taylor here. Who am I speaking with?
Tone Taylor. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. Who's this?
Hey, my name is Serge Clement, man, out of New York, Jamaica, Queens.
Queen, stand up, Serge. What's going on, baby?
What's going on, man?
Is Mr. Chris Harris on the line, too?
Yes, man. What's up, man? What's up? I'm on the line, man. What's up?
I'm good, man. I couldn't get a hold of Hot 97 since they never take me, so I might as well try here, huh?
Of course. I love it.
We appreciate that, bro. We really appreciate that. What's good? What's on your mind? Talk to us.
What's going on, fellas?
Talk to me.
I was calling to show y'all some love, man. I love to see that young African-American young males doing their thing, man.
I appreciate it, sir.
I'm sitting in the car. I left work. I just wanted to show some love, man. I ain't even watching football.
Well, we showing love back. For people out here that's listening, man, Serge Clement is 30 years old, young African-American, Division I assistant coach at St. Peter's University, and one of the best I've seen do it on a recruiting scale. So shout out to you, Serge. Not too many people know, and I'm going to go out there and say it. Serge had a big impact on my coaching career and kind of helped me get it started. So, Serge, I want to personally thank you on the air while people are listening. For people that don't know, so as much credit as you want to give us, we have to give you that credit back. Absolutely. For all the young men that you service over the years. Serge, thank you.
And to throw this out there, Serge is definitely an alumni of my high school, St. John's Prep. Shout out. Stand up.
So the good old days, though.
Good old days, man. I appreciate you calling in, brother. We're going to definitely speak more, man. But I appreciate it.
No, for sure, man. I just wanted to show love, man. So I'm about to pull off at work now, man. And y'all keep doing your thing, man, all right?
All right, man.
All right, bro.
Take care. So just to finish up on basically what we were talking about with LeBron being, where is he ranked? I do have him top 5, and I feel he's chasing rings. I feel if it would hurt his legacy more if he leaves Cleveland, it's more to the fact, love. You got to go find a team where you can get that other ring and get better stats. Like he's chasing stats, he's chasing rings, he's chasing it's like a never-ending story.
Guys before us, guys have done that before. The whole forming teams and stuff, he kind of started that. But there were guys who were chasing rings before that.
Later in their
career. So let's not put all of that on him. And he hasn't left yet. But you forget, your Lakers, Gary Payton and Karl Malone were on their last leg and joined that Laker team and lost to Detroit.
Okay.
And then Gary Payton then left again to go to Miami.
But Gary Payton was dead.
But that's my point. You were still chasing the
dead.
championship because at that point he had never
He
won.
was dead, though. We talking about greatness, though. But we have another caller. Look at this. Caller, can you state your name? We didn't get him yet? Caller, you listening to Topics. State your name. Hello? We lost him.
Sound like we lost him.
We lost him? Hello, caller.
Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Digital. I know you want to hang up on me, but you're going to take my call
Danny.
today. What's up, Tone?
What's up, Danny?
Queens is in the building.
Okay, talk to me. I know
All
you
right.
got something to talk about. You can hear me?
Well, I can hear you. LeBron.
What about LeBron?
Let him live. Let him live. Like,
Let him live what? What do you
just
mean by let him live? I'm gonna give you a 1 minute window to tell me what you mean by let him live. No, I'm gonna give you a 1 minute window for you to tell me about because you said let him live. What do you mean by let him live?
Let him live because no matter what he does, okay, he's going to be scrutinized for everything. Basically, he's already being compared to every great there is. You really can't. It's apples and oranges, So you can compare stats, you can compare chips, you can compare all of that. But at the end of the day, there's stats that nobody talks about with LeBron. His final appearances, how many teams he brings to the chips. Like, he's just a player that you cannot put a level on. You just got to appreciate his play at the end of the day. And should he stay? No, he should leave. Let's leave. Let's pack up and let's leave. Let's go play at LA with Lonzo Ball. Why not?
All right. Digital. So now listen to me. I hear what you're saying, but I also want you to listen to this, right? When it comes to LeBron, the reason we put him at a criteria that's different from Chris brought up Gary Payton and other players like that is because we don't list him as one of the greatest players, not the greatest player ever. He's made his mark that you have to talk about LeBron with Michael Jordan, with Kobe. So we hold them to a different accord, a higher accord than a Gary Payton and whoever else that you can name because he's not on that list. He's way better. We put him at a higher pedestal. So when I look at him and everybody brings up, oh, he's better than Jordan and he's better than Kobe and he's better than this person. These are players that are going down as arguably the top 5 greatest of all time. So I have to look at that criteria. Jordan didn't chase chips to me. He didn't chase chips. Regardless of the fact he had a great coach, he had a good situation, and players came to him. Okay, LeBron had that situation. He couldn't get into Miami. He couldn't get in Cleveland. He was younger, whatever. He teamed up. He did it his own way. Okay, everybody was upset at that. You know what cures that? Winning. He won in Miami, 2 out of 4. Came back to Cleveland, lost the first year, won the next year, and then lost again. And he's breaking all these records. He's going to be the youngest, and he's arguably probably be the most points in history if he keeps it going. And he's an Iron Man, so he's probably going to keep that going. But I hold him to a different standard. So it's certain statistics that he's going to break because He's just that great. But when you look at the greatest, and when I ask myself if the greatest,
does the statistics put him in that category, or does his gameplay and what he brings to a team? See, that's the discrepancy that everybody, fails to realize. It's the same. Like, I'm gonna get a little off topic, but maybe you can see the relevance. If I was to say, who do you think is better, Michael Jackson or Prince?
You asking me?
Yeah.
I'll go Michael Jackson.
Why?
Because he was my icon. That's somebody I looked up. Like, I was a Michael Jackson. I wasn't a Prince fan. I'm be honest. Wasn't into the blouses and things like that with Prince. I'm just being honest.
Okay. So now,
that's not my thing.
If you base it on criteria, Prince played more instruments than Michael. Prince was a composer. Like, Prince did more, as an artist, because he was named an artist, than Michael did. But Michael is going to be Michael. It's the same with, in my opinion, LeBron and Mike, right? There's a lot of facts that you can say about Mike of, him not able to get a chip without Scotty. Scotty went further than Mike in the playoffs than Mike did, without Scotty. Like, there's criteria that you can put on the table that can just debate, these assets that Mike contributed to the Bulls, and you could do it with LeBron. But why? It's really not going to. At the end of the day, he's going to be compared to Mike.
He is.
There's
nobody else to really compare him to. It's only going to be greats that you compare him to. And I understand what you're saying, and that's understandable.
I'm quiet right now because there's nothing that you said that I disagree with. There's absolutely nothing that you just said that I disagree with. So I'm quiet over here. So I don't want you to think that we beefing for last week with that Steph Curry comment, because I completely 100,000 agree with everything that you have said just now.
Listen, it's
cool. And let me ask you a question, Chris. Who's better, Steph or Abdul Rauf?
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf one-on-one will violate Steph Curry. Will kill Steph Curry one-on-one.
And who's a better point guard on the team?
Hard to say.
Who's the better point guard on the team, Chris?
Hard to say because Steph has. I think Steph has had better. I think Steph is the better overall point guard. I think Steph is the better overall point guard. I think Steph is the better overall point guard on the team. Overall point guard.
Yo, wait. First, before we wrap this up, because we got to go to commercial. Who's your answer? That's what I want to.
Because he want to start with me. I thought this game.
I want to hear that answer.
I tried to be like, yo.
Because Danny out here bugging. Listen, hold on. I'm sorry. Who's your answer?
The better point guard. You're asking a point guard. Who's the better point guard?
Please, before we go to commercial, because we got to go to commercial break. Who's your answer?
Abdul.
All right, so we got to go to commercial on that. Because we're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be back after these commercials.
Better scorer, yes. Better point guard, no.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Okay, we're back after paying some bills. Let's get into this 90s draft class.
Not the draft class, but the fantasy draft.
Fantasy All-Star Draft. We started this about 2 weeks ago.
And we were snowed out last week.
We were snowed out last week. Yeah. So basically what we're doing is leading up to the All-Star break, how they have the system set up now with the All-Star picking. We did the 80s draft 2 weeks ago, where we picked the top 80 All-Stars, 1980s All-Stars. And this year we're going to do the 1990s. This is a deep class.
This is a very deep class, man.
This is deep. So we have. You want to go through the list?
Yeah, definitely. Let the people know who we got on the list.
Okay.
Know what I mean, go with it.
Point guards.
And there's some people I think I got up here that you don't have, so I kind of edited that. But point guards, Penny Hardaway, Gary Payton, Tim Hardaway, John Stockton, Kevin Johnson, who made 3 All-Star games, and Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd kind of trumped Steve Nash. They were kind of neck and neck, and I think that Jason Kidd just did a little bit more in the 90s. He actually started. He started one of the All-Star games, so yeah. Shooting guard, we got Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, Reggie Miller, Mitch Richmond, and Joe Dumars, right? So the backcourt is going to be tough. Wings, we go to Scottie Pippen, Grant Hill, Chris Mullin, and Glenn Rice. Power forwards, we now have Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Sean Kemp, Larry Johnson, and there's one more that I told we was debating between Vin Baker and Detlef Shrimp. And I asked a few people, we asked the fans, and the fans voted Vin Baker in over Detlef Shrimp. So Vin Baker got that last spot at the power forwards. And then our centers, oh my goodness, Shaq, Akeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, and Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay.
So I picked first last week. So this is Tone's pick this week. So you get the first pick.
I'm gonna go with his airness.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Perfect. All right. So Tone got MJ. I'm gonna go with my favorite player, Penny Hardaway.
Oh, yo, you lucky.
No. I'm not lucky at all, bro. And I get 2 picks.
Oh,
no?
yeah, you do.
I get 2 picks, and I'm gonna go Shaq. Damn. I'm gonna bring that connection back. Yeah.
Okay. I totally understand that.
And Tone, you were okay with leaving Kobe off this list, and I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that because he's gonna be on the next 2.
Exactly.
But I do appreciate that because I'm glad you didn't give me any resistance on that.
Okay. I gotta go centers, and I gotta go.
You gonna take Akeem?
Akeem. I got
Of course, you gotta take
Got
Akeem.
to.
Who's my favorite big? But for my team, I would like Shaq and Penny together.
And I need, you know what? I need my buddies to lock up. You know what? You got him. So I'm going to go with Gary Payton.
That was a good pick. I'm not gonna lie, that was a right pick. All right. I'm going to take
Okay.
Mitch Richmond and Charles Barkley.
Mitch Richmond
And Charles Barkley.
and Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to give a quick synopsis of the picks so far, I have Michael Jordan, Akeem Olajuwon, Gary Payton. Chris picked, with his first pick, he picked
Penny, my favorite player ever.
Penny Hardaway,
Shaq, Mitch Richmond, and Charles Barkley.
and Charles Barkley. Okay, so I have my next 2 picks. I'm going Scottie Pippen and Karl Malone.
With Delano crazy. You got Scottie Pippen and Karl Malone? That's who you picked?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad pick, sir. Actually, it's not bad picks. All right. I'm going to go John Stockton, because you're not going to get that.
Mm-hmm.
John Stockton. And I'm going to go Chris Mullin. I need another shooter.
Okay, I'm glad you went there.
I'm gonna go John Stockton and Chris Mullin.
Okay. I'm going to go Grant Hill.
This list is too good. Like, it's people
It
that
is.
you just got to pass on.
I'm going to go Grant Hill and David Robinson.
Well, I'm going to take Patrick Ewing,
Okay.
and I'm going to take Clyde Drexler.
Clyde the Glide, no left hand.
That's fine. Perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Still a Hall of Famer with one
No
hand.
hand Drex. You got a shooter. So I'm going to go. Yeah, you got Mitch already, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go Jason Kidd
Good pick. Well, you picked him.
and Sean Kemp.
Damn, that's what I was about to go get. Sean Kemp, man. All right. I'm going to take Joe
Like that
Dumars.
pick? Okay.
I'm going to take Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars.
I'm going to take Joe Dumars. And I'm going to take Mr. UTEP two-step Tim Hardaway.
Timmy.
UTEP two-step. So now I got my guards. Now. I'm cool. I got my guards.
Okay, so, you know what? Let me get a shooter. Let me get Reggie.
Yeah, take Reggie, please, so we can get done with this.
You know what? Let me get young grandmama Larry Johnson.
Okay. I'm going to go Glenn Rice.
Glenn was still on there?
Yeah, Glenn was still on. You overpassed Glenn.
I apologize, Glenn.
All-Star Game MVP one year, too. I think it was 98. It was Jordan's last one, wasn't it? And I'm going to go with Lonzo Mourning.
Okay, so I'm going to go. Who left out here?
We got 3 guys left, bro.
Vin Baker, Dikembe Mutombo,
and
Kevin Johnson. Give me Vinny.
Okay.
And give me Mutombo.
Yeah.
You can have.
I can have Kevin Johnson.
You can have him.
I can have Kevin
you
Johnson.
Can have him.
Okay. So we're gonna post these teams. Go online, vote who y'all think has the best team, has the better team. And next week we're gonna do early 2000 draft. So
early 2000
from 2000 to 2010. So I think that list is. I definitely gonna need some feedback on that list, guys.
Absolutely.
Helping us figure that out. It's a lot of guys that are no brainers, but then when it comes down to the bottom of the list, we got to see who makes that list.
Okay. So again, post who you think has a better team. Coming up now, we have NFL awards. The first award that we're doing this week is Coach of the Year. Who do you have?
Doug Peterson.
You saying it like it was a no-brainer.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because you were dominant all the way through.
Okay.
You were arguably the best team all the way through, and you got your team to the name. You got your team to the Super Bowl. There were a lot of guys. Jacksonville's coach, Vikings coach, but Doug Peterson's still the last guy standing right now with the great Bill Belichick. So I'm going to trump him. And even after losing Carson Wentz, for you still have, even though trusting Nick Foles, you still got to get your team ready to still perform. And they didn't skip a beat. You would have thought that Carson Wentz played in the Nick Foles jersey. So I think at the players play, yeah, coaches never really get the credit, but as a coach, you still have to keep your team. When you lose arguably the MVP of the league this year, to keep your team on course, not to get them to refocus, but to keep them focused the whole year.
Okay.
It's a lot of things that goes on beyond the X's and O's that you don't get to see. It's a little bit more about it's a little less about the play calling and more about your ability to get guys to continue to buy in and not get the wind knocked out of their sail. All that stuff. So I'm going with Doug Peterson.
Okay. I'm not sure this is even a debate. But since this is a debate show, I'm going to feed into it. Doug Marrone with the Jags, 10-6. Great season. Amazing season. Doug Peterson. You're Doug Peterson. Right. 13-3.
Right.
Quarterback goes down, make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Even though it's regular season. Right. But he kept it going.
Right.
Still got the number 1 seed.
Right.
Mike Zimmer, Vikings, 13-3. Another solid season.
Close second.
That was a close second. This is by far. He has to run away with this. Sean McVay is the coach of the year.
Rams?
For the Rams. Has to be. This is a classic case from zero to hero. You took a team that was dead 32nd in scoring. I need people to hear this.
My fault. I'm gonna turn this around so my people can hear this too. My people can hear you.
No, you took a team from zero to hero in 1 year.
One say hero, but okay.
And this is why, from the bottom, they were last in scoring last year. Last.
Okay.
Out of 32 teams, last. This year, they were first. Fisher had this team looking like they will never, ever, ever, ever have a winning program. They left St. Louis. They came to L.A. and they still stunk. He had Jared Goff looking like he was going to be a bust. Let's be honest. Gurley took a step back last year. The team was not good. You take that same team, throw Fisher back in the water like a fish. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He's done. You bring Sean McVay, the youngest coach in the league, to an 11-5 record, playoff burst. First the NFC West, playoff burst, and a dynamic offense. One of his smartest things was when he got that job was hiring Wade Phillips as defensive coordinator. That was a major point, and that was a lot of people will overlook that. With a plethora of other assistants. And he really took that team from the bottom of the barrel to the top of the NFC West and into the playoffs. They're young.
Lost early, but okay.
They lost. Who they lose to?
Falcons.
A team that's been there before.
Who were underperforming the whole year.
All
but
right,
I'm
fine,
not knocking
but
that.
they've been there before.
Let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this really quickly.
Go ahead, ask me that.
Did McVay do that great of a job? Or did Fisher do that bad of a job where anything you compared it to the bottom of the bottom? So if you would have made it anything better, you won. Because you see that a lot in coach, but you do see that a lot in coaching.
But it's different. But like you take a team, you did not look at the Rams coming into the season that they're gonna be number one in the NFC West or even a playoff team.
But that defense, you knew that defense was always good. No, that defense was good. That defense been good.
All right, and they still was giving up major points last year. At the end of the day, like you changed the whole dynamic of that team with one person, with that coach. It's the same team. Okay. Don't take anything away from him. I feel like because
I'm
they
not
were
taking nothing away from him, but they were bad.
They were bad last year, and you look okay. They'll make a step forward. They'll win maybe 6 games. Hopefully, they went 11-5, and they lost 2 games to the best team that's going to the Super Bowl right now in the NFC, to the Eagles. So let's think about it. Like, he did everything he needed to do for that team and took them from the bottom of the barrel. That's why I feel he deserves this. It's a no-brainer. I do have Doug Peterson. I had him 3rd on my list. And the reason,
that's fine.
No, and I'm just gonna throw it out. The reason is not to take away from him, is because I had the Vikings. I had Mike Zimmer 2nd because they lost. They didn't have their franchise quarterback. Bridgewater was out from the beginning of the season. Yeah. They lost their starting quarterback 2nd game of the season, and then they lost their running back 3rd game of the season, and they finished the season 13-3.
Yeah.
So
it lost to the dude that's still coaching, who
absolutely.
I picked. So my guy who I picked beat both the teams both the
absolutely.
Coaches you picked.
They have absolutely.
Okay.
But
and
where were the Eagles last year?
Are those rivals?
Were the Eagles prominent? Were they better? They were good last year, right? They wasn't horrible. They weren't horrible last year. They made improvements each year.
Were they a Super Bowl team last year?
No.
Are they a Super Bowl team this year?
Yeah. Was he there?
Next topic.
What was that? The increase. Come on, stop it.
What?
Go ahead.
What? Just like you said, they went from last to scoring to first to scoring. Yeah. They went from not being a Super Bowl team to a Super Bowl team.
Okay. That's fine. First and foremost is not the comparison, but that's fine.
All right. It wasn't about the comparison. I just pulled one out of your book.
What's the next one?
Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know if I might twist this and people might be shocked at my pick, but everybody, the known consensus feels like Calais Campbell is going to get the Defensive Player of the Year award. 14.5 sacks. Best defender.
He was bugging.
He listen. He's
from a number standpoint. He's gonna. From the number standpoint, you have me. I don't really go off numbers because I'm a.
I mean, dynamic. He had that defense as the number 1 defense. Like, he was prominent and he was doing what he had to do. Me personally, I have Aaron Donald as the Defensive Player of the Year, and to me, it's not even close.
Okay.
It's not even close.
Okay.
He has 11 sacks in 14 games. This is by a defensive tackle. If everybody does not know, defensive ends are known for coming around that edge and getting the sacks.
Yeah.
A defensive tackle is in the trenches.
Yeah, Jason Taylor, J.J. Watt, Chris Long. Yeah, I get it.
So I'm just throwing this out there. For him to have 11 sacks in 14 games is insane. It's remarkable. He also led the NFL in quarterback pressures. And to do this as a DT, that defensive tackle, is unheard of. You have to give this man his props. Have to give him his props. He plays inside. All everybody know. And what's crazy is he led the NFL in defensive quarterback pressures at number 1. 2 through 10 were all edge rushers. He was the only person in the top 10,
Right.
a defensive tackle. You got to give this man. He deserves it. He was the best player on a playoff team. So I give that to him.
Calais Campbell is going to be, I think he's going to run away with it. However, my pick, and you probably going to make a crazy face, my pick and my favorite defensive player, Deion Jones. Deion Jones was the heart of that defense, that Atlanta defense. And I think you take Deion Jones off that team, or you take him out of that defense, and now the Falcons defense is a pretty good. They got some names: Vic Beasley, DeAndre Poe. They got some guys.
Okay.
On that defense, Trufant. They got some guys.
Absolutely.
But I think Deion Jones was the heart and soul of that defense. I think he was the guy that got them going, and I think Atlanta was able to. Atlanta won a lot of games this year off defense. And I feel like Deion Jones was the catalyst to get those guys going. He was top 5 in tackles, 3 interceptions. So his numbers wasn't really that crazy, but his impact for everybody else.
You threw everybody with a loop with this one, but okay.
That's me, Deion Jones. How he was able to be the catalyst for those 10 other guys with him on the field, that's my defensive player of the year.
Okay, no problem. I respect it. We got to go take a quick commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk about the GOAT.
Oh, God.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Okay, and we're back. Okay, so our next topic, I just want to let the people know exactly what we're going into at this moment. Again, you're listening to Topics on IBNX Radio, top opinions presented in current sports. So, this next topic here that we're talking about is Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady the GOAT? What do you say?
No.
Okay.
Yes, he's the GOAT, man. Stop asking me questions you know the answer to.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Stop asking me questions you know the answer to.
Okay.
I'm tired of bringing up his numbers. I'm tired of talking about the Patriots every week. Whenever you are in the middle of all the media frenzy and people want to talk bad about you, whatever, you got to be doing something right. For his dominance over the last decade, I think no player has had that kind of dominance in the last 10 years. When you think of Tom Brady, you think of the all-time greats. You think of the Michael Jordans. You think of the Tiger Woods. You think of those people like that. Tom Brady is, as it hurts me to say this, Tom Brady hasn't fallen off. He looks like he can play forever. He doesn't look old ever. At times, I mean, the Super Bowl. After last year, after being down at halftime and coming back and winning, I think that's kind of like, all right. We want to keep fighting it. What else does he have to do? What else does he have to do in football for people that say that he's the GOAT, that he hasn't already done?
I don't know.
So, in my opinion, I feel like he's done everything that I don't think there's nothing else. I want to see him do this. Only thing Tom Brady else could do is go play another position.
He's not going to do that, but that's the only thing he can do. So, I look at this as a two-part question, even though it was initially a one-part question. Now, is Tom Brady the GOAT? The GOAT. Now, when we say this, are we saying is he the greatest quarterback of all times or the greatest of all time? Where were you going with this? I want to know.
Keeping it specifically as the quarterback.
Okay.
I was keeping it specifically as the quarterback because other guys play other positions, and you can't really. I never played football enough. I know the quarterback is the most vocal, is the most important piece, but you know.
So do you? If the question is out there, is Tom Brady the greatest ever? Greatest football ever? Greatest football player ever?
No. Nah, I think there's other guys that you got to throw in that conversation. That just, when I think of great, I think of how you changed what you did on the football field, how you changed football, your dominance, and things like that. And you can't control who you play against, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest thing. So I think guys like way before us, guys who I never got to see, but just the way people speak of him, the way people face light up when you mention these people's name. Jim Brown, Walter Payton, like guys like that who are iconic in a sense where we're talking 50 years later and we're still having these people in conversation. And we're going to continue to have these people in conversation. I can't say he's the greatest football player ever, but he's definitely the greatest quarterback ever.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm glad that was clarified because my response was going to be, hell no. He's not the GOAT. But quarterback, I give it to him. If right now all he's doing is breaking records, and he's breaking records of the greatest quarterbacks that's ever graced the NFL. If you look at certain things, Brady has 21 multiple playoff games. And the next closest is Brett Favre with 15. So he's consistent. Most postseason touchdown passes. Tom Brady has 66. The next closest is Joe Montana with 45.
So he blew that out of the water.
Consistent. Most postseason passing yards. Tom Brady has 9,431. Peyton Manning, the second, has 7,339. Most postseason playoff wins by a quarterback. Tom Brady has 26. The next closest is Joe Montana with 16. Most postseason 300-yard passing games. Tom Brady has 13. Peyton Manning has 9. This is greatness. And I said it after last year. I have to pay homage. I'm going to pay homage. He's the greatest quarterback. At first, I had him as the greatest postseason quarterback ever because I had Peyton Manning as the greatest regular season quarterback.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give it to him. I'm not gonna do any more discrepancies. Now, since I'm gonna throw it out there, the greatest football player ever, the GOAT, is Jerry Rice.
You have no argument there for me.
Absolutely.
You have no argument there for me. And that's why I didn't say he's the greatest football player.
And I respect that. And I'm glad that you went that route because I was going to kill you if you tried to. But Jerry Rice didn't break records. He rewrote the record books. Jerry Rice, I had to really go back and look at the numbers again. And you know me with stats, I always try to.
You love it.
I love
what you do.
That's what you do. I love the stats. 1,549 receptions, 22,895 receiving yards, 208 total touchdowns. Most career all-purpose yards, 23,546. Who's going to come close to that? He played for 21 years. Now, what's astonishing, and he's an Iron Man. He's like Tom Brady. He plays years and years and years. He stays healthy. He treats his body right. After his 17th season, he had 2 back-to-back seasons of 800-plus yards. It was 880-something, 890-something. He left San Francisco. He didn't touch 1,000 yards for the last 3 years. He goes in his 18th year to Oakland and has 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard years, 9 touchdowns and 7 touchdowns. and 18 and 19 years in the league at a wide receiver. So you can stamp him for 13 or 14 seasons of having at least 80 catches, at least 1,000 yards. It's crazy. Put him down as a Pro Bowler. Put for 13, 14 seasons out of 21. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's why I feel he is the GOAT. Joe Montana is definitely not. I had him as the number one greatest, but I had to move Tom Brady up. But that was who I had as the greatest. So
with that being said, right,
mm-hmm.
Tom Brady is in this timeless, clutch conversation of guys that no matter what game, no matter what sport you're playing, you turn on the TV, and if you're rooting for this guy, you're like, it's fine. He's gonna find a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're rooting against this guy, it's like it's too much time on the clock because it's 1 second on the clock still.
Okay.
Who else comes to mind in those conversations with guys that impact that with that dynamic in the pressure situations year in, year out?
So in other sports, who are other major clutch performers? My list, I try to be precise and I try to look at least every sport. Or I have Adam Vinatieri. He's just a kicker that everybody look at the kicker like, oh, he's just another position.
That's a good one.
He's one of the greatest clutch kickers in football NFL history. And he did it on the biggest stages. So when I think of clutch performers, I think of them doing it on the biggest stages. He did it in the playoffs, and he did it in the Super Bowl with time running out. There wasn't a stop clock. They had to run on the field, time running out. And he kicked the game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl. I had him up there. I have Mr. November, Derek Jeter.
That's what I got.
Definitely Derek Jeter. And he just did it. What he has 5 World Series championships. He did it on the biggest stage. That's why he was named Mr. November. Clutch hits, clutch catches. When he fell into the stands, messed up his face. Of course, we don't. It's said to be unsaid, but Kobe Bean Bryant. Like, you don't. What happened? You looked at me like I had 5 heads or something.
I wasn't expecting you to say Kobe, but okay.
How would you not?
Go ahead.
As a clutch performer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my! We're gonna come back to that.
I'm not saying that he's not a clutch performer, but I just wasn't expecting you to say that Kobe.
Wow, MJ.
Yeah, I was expecting Mike. I
was leaving him for last.
All right, cool. As long as you're leaving him for last, I think you should have. I think that goes without saying. But all right.
Serena Williams.
Okay.
I have Serena Williams up there. She's come back in championship series, championship matches, from down to win Grand Slams. Tiger Woods, of course. Sidney Crosby.
Wow.
Sidney Crosby.
Over Wayne?
No, I'm not putting him over. See, you got to understand greatness. Like, these are like Jordan and Wayne Gretzky are like.
Without being said?
Without being said. And I was going to leave that for last.
Okay.
And they compare Sidney's greatness when in clutch moments to Wayne. But
okay.
Wayne is
like, a different category.
Exactly.
Wayne is by itself.
Jordan. So I have, last but not least, I do have Jordan and I do have Wayne Gretzky.
All right. So we agree with Jordan, Jeter, Gretzky. Kobe, I'm not disagreeing with you. I thought you would put Mike over Kobe. I'm not gonna say.
I'm not putting him over. I was just naming.
I didn't know you would. I didn't think you would name him first. All right, but you
have
to
name him.
I didn't
my
say
list.
it was.
I can
calm
name him, right?
down. Hold your horses.
Wait.
Settle down.
No, because you looked at me. You looked at me a little indifferent.
Because when you said it goes without saying. I thought you was gonna talk about Mike.
Yeah, but then when I said it, you still was looking like, oh.
Because I thought you was gonna say about Mike. Either way, it doesn't
But you kept on bringing it up, like, oh, I'm not supposed to. It's my list. This is my list, right?
Like I said, I was taking back that you didn't say Mike. It has nothing to do with who you put first. I know there was no specific order. Okay, that's all I was saying. So calm down. Wait. You good?
You
just
said,
good?
I'm good. But you just said there's no specific order. But then you said I didn't think you was gonna put him over Jordan.
I didn't think you was gonna mention him. I thought we was gonna. I didn't think so.
All right, go ahead.
All right,
go ahead.
Jesus, somebody that we did mention is Mariano Rivera.
Oh, Mariano of the Marriott.
Mariano Rivera is definitely on that list.
Absolutely.
If we could throw Kobe out there, yes, definitely. He hasn't won any championships, but Reggie Miller. I feel like Reggie Miller got some game winners
Okay.
Got some game winners for memories. How he did
he
the
pushed
Knicks.
Jordan. He pushed Jordan.
Pushed Jordan on that one. The
Jordan.
Knicks, the whole Spike Lee thing.
Joint.
The Nets when he was at the end of his career.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite basketball
Absolutely.
moments.
Okay.
Like you said, man, I think like we were spot on. Adam Vinatieri, I like. Peyton Manning.
Okay.
We're not talking about just. I think it's unfair to talk about people that just won championships or won Grand Slams or just won tournaments. I think it's unfair to put that.
I mean, my criteria when I was thinking of clutch is doing it.
Of course, you're thinking as the.
It doesn't take away from because some of them not able to make it to that far, but they are clutch. No, I told
like a lot of people also like a lot of guys who I want, and you saw this after. Well, you didn't see this after LeBron, you saw this before LeBron. Dwayne Wade.
In them finals, he went crazy. He got.
I feel like Dwayne Wade was those. I feel like Dwayne Wade was that guy.
Okay.
So it's like that list, man. I think is just it's. We can go back and continue to go back. Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens.
Okay.
Like these guys, like Nolan Ryan, these guys have done it for a long period of time. Like you want to throw Jerry Rice out there 20 years, then Jerry Rice most definitely.
Joe Montana.
So
I like that.
Two more people, Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather's undefeated.
I will put more.
No, you're gonna put more Muhammad Ali because of the guys he fought compared to the guys that Floyd Mayweather fought. But at the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather beat 50 people. That you put 50 people in front of Floyd Mayweather, and he beat 50 people. So when you're the headliner of the show or the headliner, and you win every time on the biggest stage, if that's not the biggest stage, if Caesar Palace is not the biggest stage for boxing, and you win every time,
and I totally understand what you're saying. But the only thing, like, of course, you agree that I'm going to put Muhammad Ali, but I put Muhammad Ali there
because
for a different reason.
They banned him and he came back and won.
That, but Floyd went to jail too for 8 months and then came back.
It wasn't as like Muhammad Ali.
But no, the reason I did put Muhammad Ali above that because of I don't feel Floyd ever went into any fight the underdog. Muhammad Ali has. He went into the Frazier for the second Frazier underdog. He went into the Foreman fight, the underdog. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I feel the clutch. He came out like he was getting beat, like, and everybody was thinking like, what is he doing? That's when the rope-a-dope came about. But clutch performances, I felt those were clutch performances. I just think Floyd is greatness. So he never had to put himself. He may be clutch. He just so smart and a technician and defensive fighter that he never put himself in a situation that he had to come back. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to take the label away from him, but he didn't put himself in a situation to give him that label because he's never had to deal with certain stuff like that, certain situations because he's smart. So I give him that, and that's the reason I put Muhammad Ali. And that weight class back then, heavyweight, was ridiculous. But nonetheless, so are we going to a quick commercial? We still have, okay, so listen. Let's go to some college basketball.
Really quick before we get into trivia.
Okay.
Really quick before we get into trivia because this made news on Saturday.
Okay.
Zion Williamson picked Duke. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you feel his future is at Duke? What do you think his impact is at Duke? Really quick before we get into trivia. Really quickly. I'm interested to hear this. I feel
when he was about to make his pick, I really thought he was going to go to Clemson. We talked about it, and when you brought up Clemson, and let me put this out there, like you made a good point. I was like, that is a good place for him to go. I liked it. It made sense, and I just didn't think. And I really had Duke. I was like, he's no way he's going to Duke.
It was a 4% chance of him going to Duke.
I told myself, I was like, yo, I don't think he's going to Duke. He's not going to Duke. He picked Duke. I don't think that was a good chance. I don't think it was a good choice. But I understand the choice. It's Duke. That's why I understand it. It's Coach K. That's why I understand it.
And I'm going to piggyback off that.
So I understand it, but I don't agree with it. But the positive point, like I understood, there's two. Bagley's gone. That position is gonna be open for him. So I understood that aspect. But him, that's a system, and I don't think there's just greatness of players coming. Like we talked about this. What notable great players are in the NBA from Duke?
Outside of Kyrie Irving, everybody else has been glorified role players, in my opinion. In my opinion, everybody that came out of Duke have ended their careers glorified role players.
I think it's a system at Duke, and now he's getting into the whole one and done. We're going to talk about that, but I just didn't think that was a good choice. I really thought Clemson, and worst, like second thing, go to Kentucky because you're going to be one and done anyway.
With the whole one and done thing, we know that he's going to be one and done. That's why I say go to Clemson, because there were knocks on you as a kid already. You were undersized at the position you play at 6'5", maybe 6'6", right?
Damn,
you're trying to play this bully ball. You're more athletic than the people you're playing against now, and I don't think it's going to equate to college. So I wanted him to go to Clemson to see, all right, to prove people that me as the main guy every night, I can handle this kind of workload for the NBA. That's how I would have thought if I was advising him. But with Duke, and you pick Duke because you need an image. You have to have a certain type of image outside of basketball, and Duke has those players for the image. You know, he's not really not to say it like this. He's not what you call a marketable kid. Like people don't say he's absolutely marketable right away. Like he's an internet phenom. But he's still, there's other ways there's other knocks people can have him. Oh, he doesn't speak. Oh, you don't really get to see the clean cut Zion Williams. So I think he took Duke more for an image thing and not really basketball wise. So that was my take on it.
Okay. Listen, we're gonna go into trivia time. Let's get right to it.
What time is it? It's trivia time with Tone.
It's showtime.
You lost the last 4 weeks, by the way, Tone. Just letting you know.
Listen, we're not. First and foremost, we're not talking about that. Let's get to it.
All right, man.
I'm ready.
The NCAA all-time leader in points with 3,667 points. NCAA all-time leader in points. Pete Maravich, Doug McDermott, Keatron Clark, or Elvin Hayes.
How many points?
3,667 points.
What was the names again?
Pistol
Maravich.
Pete.
Back then, you could only play 3 years.
Doug
He did
McDermott.
average 40 though.
Doug McDermott. Keatron Clark.
He averaged. He led the
nation in scoring twice. And Elvin Hayes.
This is yours, so I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. What was the second name?
Doug McDermott.
I'm gonna go Dougie.
Wrong. It was Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete. And he only played 3 years. That's crazy. Next.
Who has the most rushing yards in the Super Bowl with 204?
Mm-hmm.
Marshall Faulk,
Mm-hmm.
Terrell Davis,
Mm-hmm.
Timmy Smith, or Jerome Bettis? Marshall Faulk. Is that you sure that's the answer?
Yeah.
Wrong.
All right.
It was Timmy Smith.
Okay.
And he lost too.
Go.
Don't rush because of the time. You're losing right now.
Go.
Who has the longest streak of goals scored in a hockey game with 14 games?
The highest what?
Who has the longest streak of goals scored in hockey with 14 games?
Okay.
Sidney Crosby,
Mm-hmm.
Punch Broadbent, Wayne Gretzky, or Alexander Ovechkin?
He went from Timmy, I never heard of, to, first of all, who is Punch what?
Broadbent.
Punch, bruh, listen. 14 games in a row, right?
Yeah, Wayne
Gretzky,
Sidney Crosby, Punch
Sidney
Broadbent,
Crosby.
Wayne, and Alexander Ovechkin.
And I'm going to go Alexander Ovechkin.
Wrong. It was Punch Broadbent.
Oh, Lord Jesus, man. Oh, my God. Go ahead.
Who is tied for the most NBA All-Star Game MVPs?
NBA All-Star Game MVPs. Okay.
Is it A, Kobe and Bob Pettit?
Okay.
B, Michael Jordan and Shaq?
Okay.
C, Shaq and Kobe? Or D, Bob Pettit and Michael Jordan?
It was the most, what?
All-Star Game MVPs.
Bob Pettit and Michael Jordan.
It was Bob Pettit and Kobe Bryant.
Go ahead.
Who hit the most home runs in a single round of the home run derby with 28?
Who hit the most home
runs in a single round of the home run derby with 28? John Carlos Stanton, Ken Griffey Jr., Josh Hamilton, Bobby Abreu.
What was the first one? I know Josh Hamilton was out there. And who
Ken
else?
Griffey.
Ken Griffey.
John Carlos.
At one point. John Carlos.
And Bobby Abreu.
Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton is correct.
Listen. Listen, you've tuned into Topics, Top Opinions, presented in current sports here on IBNX Radio. We are out. We will see you next week. Remember. Go to IBNX Radio Network on YouTube. Subscribe. Follow the link. Help the movement. You're listening to Topics. This is Tone Taylor.
I'm Chris Harris. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. See you guys next week.
IBNX Radio.
I didn't even try to even think about it.
Was I supposed to?